May buntag kaninyong tanan. Mabuhay, love the Philippines. Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Joining us today are Deputy Speaker Duke Frasco, officials from the Department of Tourism, Undersecretary May Elaine Bathan, Undersecretary Shireen Gail Yu Pamintuan, Assistant Secretary Verna Buensuceso, Assistant Secretary Gisela Kisumbing, as well as some regional directors of the Department of Tourism from across the country, and central directors of the DOT. Vice Chair and Board Secretary of the PFIP, Ronil Villacorta, as well as Ma'am Don Mendoza, Vice President of the Zonta Club of Cebu II, and President of CELIA, Attorney Regal Oliva. I would also just like to make special mention of my very good friend, Tim Yap, and a champion for the LGBT community, Melo Esguerra, to join us later on will be one of the champions of the creative industry, Congressman Toff de Venecia. Officials of attached agencies of the DOT, the PFIP Board of Trustees, and members, our partners in this LGBT Tourism Pride Summit. Please give them a round of applause. Our friends from the media, our very supportive tourism stakeholders from all over the Philippines, sa ako mga igsuunang Pilipino, mayong buntag. My heart is filled with love and gratitude as we gather today to celebrate the very first Tourism Pride Summit for our country. Your presence here signifies your commitment and our shared goal towards inclusivity, diversity, and equality in this new era for tourism in the Philippines. Yesterday, we celebrated World Tourism Day, where we recognized the enormous power that tourism has had in nations around the world. So transformative is the power of tourism that, notwithstanding the calamities that have come upon our shores and the global pandemic that put a halt to many economies around the world, tourism has been the force for good that has become one of the strongest pillars for the economic recovery of our country. So vast has the contribution of tourism been across our islands in this beautiful archipelago of ours that our national economic managers have attested that in the first half of this year, tourism was the second top highest economic driver for our country. And that is why it is incumbent upon us in the Department of Tourism to ensure that we further harness the power of tourism and spread the benefits of this sector to as many sectors as possible, including the LGBTQIA+ community. According to the United Nations World Tourism Organization, there is an estimated number of over 36 million LGBTQIA+ travelers around the world. So significant is the contribution of this community that it constitutes over 200 billion in spending, and it is estimated to reach $500 billion by 2030. There are a vast amount of opportunities that can be had should our country open up to include LGBTQIA plus tourism in its tourism portfolio. But of course, economics are not our only motivation for holding this summit. More importantly, under the administration of President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr., he seeks for a tourism industry that is inclusive, where no destination and no stakeholder is left behind in the development of our country. That is why, in our effort to reach our hand of collaboration to as far as possible, to the farthest reaches of our country, we reach out our hand of collaboration as well to the many sectors that are involved in tourism, especially and including the LGBTQIA plus community. Across the vast expanse of the tourism value chain, from the time that you book your flights or your hotels, to booking your tourism transport, to staying in your hotel, to dining in our restaurants and other gourmet offerings, from the time you buy your pasalubong, when you partake in festivals and immerse yourself in the local communities of tourism destinations, to the time that you take tours when you finally arrive at your intended destination. Across the entire tourism value chain, the LGBTQIA plus community has contributed significantly. And it is a great source of pride for us in the Department of Tourism that even in our department, we have many members of the community that have contributed significantly to the successes that the industry has had in the past 50 years of its existence. The recognition of the contributions of this community is absolutely essential. And their success is our success. And therefore, it behooves us to work together to ensure that we are able to honor their contributions as well as support it the best way possible through government assistance and intervention. Take, for example, the recently concluded Pasigarbo sa Sugbo Festival of Festivals in my home province of Cebu, organized by the Cebu Provincial Government under Governor Garcia. Here, 50 local government units and municipalities joined the festival, and it gave opportunities to choreographers, dancers, costume makers, as well as other stakeholders in cultural festivals and festivities such as this to take part in the value that is contributed by festivals such as the Pasigarbo sa Sugbo to our economy. Therefore, recognizing the immense contribution of the LGBTQIA plus community from the upper echelons of government to our resorts and accommodation sector, to the other components of the tourism value chain, and even down to the grassroots, it fills us with great happiness and pride that we have come together today to converge, to ensure that we focus on how we can build up the tourism pride portfolio of the Philippine Department of Tourism, that we may be able to be competitive and stand shoulder to shoulder with our neighbors in the ASEAN who have had much success in this regard. The social impact that tourism has had to our nation is enormous. It accelerates social progress, it enables community enrichment, of course it drives job creation, and is a multiplier effect for local economies as well as a catalyst for innovation and entrepreneurship. This unique ability of tourism to protect, to engage, and to promote vulnerable sectors is one that we wish to be able to further in the Department of Tourism. Under the National Tourism Development Plan, recently approved by our President, he envisions transformation in Philippine tourism. In that, while we focus on our goal of becoming a tourism powerhouse in Asia, we anchor these efforts not only on the fun and adventure that we have so far articulated to the world, but also, more importantly, on the strength of our culture, our heritage, our history, and our Filipino identity. And the LGBTQIA plus community is part of such cultural diversity in our country. The tourism industry aims to be sustainable, resilient, and competitive, taking into consideration the necessity of inclusivity in all the programs and projects that we do. The National Tourism Development Plan is being implemented on the basis of three key strategies: connectivity, convenience, and equality. But to truly succeed in our effort to transform the tourism industry, we must pursue an advocacy of inclusivity. Because it is not merely a matter of economic growth, it is also a matter of providing equal opportunities, regardless of gender or sexual orientation. The summit for which we are gathered here today is a testament to the Marcos administration's and the Department of Tourism's unwavering commitment to advancing opportunities for the LGBTQIA plus community throughout the tourism value chain, whether in employment, entrepreneurship, leadership, governance, and capacity development. Now, allow me to highlight some milestones and accomplishments that we have reached under the Marcos administration in this transformative era of tourism for our country. On the aspect of inclusivity, we are proud supporters of the gender and development initiatives of the national government, conducting various trainings under the Tourism Integrates Supports and Minds Women's Rights and Children's Safety Program to ensure safety and protection of women and children from abuse and trafficking. We champion barrier-free tourism to encourage tourism frontliners to assist persons with disabilities and special needs. We have also partnered with various NGOs, NGAs, and LGUs to train over 1,633 participants in sustainable tourism and related fields. While we try to adjust government policy to ensure that it is inclusive on all fronts, we have also tried to ensure that we build the proper infrastructure for tourism to truly succeed. In the matter of a year, we have managed to build 10 tourist rest areas across the country, spanning across Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, that provides a convenient information center and rest area for tourists, as well as clean and decent restrooms and shower areas, and even a lactation room for breastfeeding mothers. Importantly, these tourist rest areas are also envisioned to give opportunities to our small and medium enterprises in tourism. That is why it is equipped with a souvenir center or pasalubong center that allows for our local businesses to sell their wares and goods. And I extend my invitation to our entrepreneurs across the LGBTQIA plus community to please participate in this opportunity to sell their goods and wares in our tourist rest areas. The TRAs have been met with much success by our local government units and our local tourism stakeholders. And that is why in 2024, we are building an additional 15 more tourist rest areas across our country with the intention of ensuring that everywhere that our tourists may go across this archipelagic nation of ours, that they will feel the love, warmth, compassion, and care of the Filipino people that will encourage them to come back again and again. We have also engaged in various convergences with our fellow government agencies, recognizing the necessity of addressing the challenge of connectivity, which, to our mind, is actually one of the greatest challenges faced by the Philippines. Through our collaboration with the Department of Transportation, as well as our attached agency, the TIEZA, we have managed to improve the NAIA Terminal 2 in terms of instituting the work of Filipino artisans by putting furniture, amenities, plants, as well as other offerings that would make their stay in the airport as convenient as possible. While there are a very many host of other challenges faced by our gateways, our effort is within the mandate that is allowed by the Department of Tourism that we offer opportunities to improve the customer experience. This project we hope to be able to replicate in other areas across the country. Recognizing the necessity of bringing tourism into the digital age and improving Wi-Fi connectivity across our country, we partnered with the Department of Information, Communications, and Technology to improve Wi-Fi connectivity in 94 tourism destinations across the country. Understanding that peace and security must be the bedrock of tourism development, especially for the beautiful host of provinces in Mindanao, we partnered with the Department of National Defense as well as the Department of Interior and Local Government to ensure that tourism development is strategic and also based on the maintenance of the peace and order situation of certain provinces in Mindanao. This collaboration has already borne fruit, as a few days ago, I found myself in the southernmost province of the Philippines, the beautiful province of Tawi-Tawi, where I am very pleased to inform you that they are ready for tourism. They are ready to be included in the tourism map of the Philippines. With our 7,641 islands, there are simply a multitude of reasons to love the Philippines, and yet accessibility continues to be a challenge, especially in terms of lesser known and emerging destinations, which is why we partnered with the Department of Public Works and Highways for the continuation of construction of tourism road projects towards destinations, as well as for the construction of new tourism roads in 2024. Thus far, this partnership has borne fruit. For in 2023, over 158 kilometers of roads were cemented to tourism destinations, and we can expect the continuation of the government's investment in new tourism roads in the year to come. Under the Marcos administration, the effort is not only to recover, but rather to elevate the status of the Philippines in Asia and the world. And that is why we're instituting flagship projects that will bring us shoulder to shoulder with our direct competitors. For instance, we launched the very first Philippines hop-on, hop-off bus tours here in Metro Manila, where with the convenience of a mobile application that you can download on your phone, you can purchase a pass that gives you an opportunity to go across our various beautiful heritage and other sites in key cities in Metro Manila and tour these destinations at your own pace. We have thus far launched the hop-off bus tours in the city of Makati as well as in the city of Manila, and we're expanding our portfolio across other cities in the metro. We also hope to be able to benchmark this project across other key cities in the Philippines. The Philippines is blessed with a mega biodiversity that makes it unique all over the world. Not only that, we're steeped in history and culture and an immensely beautiful diversity across our regions that defines our identity as Filipinos. And yet, we have not yet fully told the Filipino story to the world. That is why we launched the Philippine Experience. It is a heritage, culture, and arts caravan that intends to give opportunities for our tourists, both international and local, to get to know the heart and soul of our destinations and the Filipino people. Through the Philippine Experience, you'll have an opportunity to engage in a 3-day, 2-night tour package where you will get to know the destination as it is hosted by the local government unit and immerse in their festivals, their food, their songs, their dances, their local products, and the like. We have thus far launched the Philippine Experience in Mindanao, in the Davao region, where we brought members of embassies of countries that presently have travel advisories against the Philippines, so that they can see for themselves the true situation of Mindanao, that it is time to fulfill the promise that is Mindanao, and that Mindanao is ready for international tourism. In a few days, we will be proceeding to Calabarzon for the Philippine Experience, and next week, we are visiting the beautiful Bicol region to continue this project. The Philippine Experience will visit all the other regions of the Philippines in the months and the years to come. Among our very many assets in Philippine tourism that gives us the courage and the boldness to say, love the Philippines, the best asset of Philippine tourism is no other than the Filipino tourism worker. Everywhere that I have been, all over the world, I have encountered positive stories of the Filipino. How they always go beyond the call of duty, exercise their work with love and compassion, and serve to the best of their ability. This is well reflected in the tourism industry in the country. That is why, to fully capitalize on the excellence of Filipino hospitality, we set this year the most ambitious goal of training no less than 100,000 Filipino tourism workers in the Filipino brand of service excellence. The FBSE program aims to perpetuate the virtues of the Filipino, and that is our reverence for God, our care for humanity, our care for community, our deep sense of patriotism, our sense of joy and love and hope for the future, and most importantly, our love for service to the best of our ability. Thus far, as we have managed to mobilize our regional offices, as well as our Office of Industry Manpower Development and partners in the tourism industry, to push for the 100,000 challenge that I set for them, we have managed to train over 89,024 Filipino tourism workers in the Filipino brand of service excellence, and we're looking to exceed our 100,000 target after October this year. Apart from our usual offerings of sun, sand, and sea, for which the Philippines has been award-winning for many, many years, we have also implemented programs to expand the tourism portfolio of the country, including, of course, pilgrimage tourism, MICE, or meetings, incentives, conventions, and exhibitions, gastronomy tourism, health, wellness, and medical tourism, and coming up soon would be sports tourism, such as golf tourism and other aspects of this industry. This month, we also held the very first Philippine Tourism Dive Dialogue that consolidated all the government agencies and private sector stakeholders in dive to ensure the sustainability of the dive industry. The Philippines has managed to defend its title for the 5th year in a row as Asia's leading dive destination. And we're looking to defend our title as the world's leading dive destination this year. That is why we held the very first Dive Tourism Summit to ensure that we fully support this industry for its sustainability and that we expand tourism opportunities not only to our well-known dive destinations but also to emerging destinations. Beyond all of the statistics, beyond the arrivals, the tourism receipts, and the like, the end-all and be-all of the development of the tourism industry must be for the Filipino people. That is why we have endeavored to partner with the Department of Labor and Employment to conduct tourism job fairs all over the Philippines to ensure that opportunities to enter the tourism sector are always present. This has thus far yielded the offering of over 21,000 tourism-related jobs to our fellow Filipinos. Thankfully, the efforts that the Marcos administration has implemented to open up the Philippines to travel and tourism once again post-pandemic, to adjust government policy to ensure the liberalization of policies that would ensure the growth of the tourism industry. We have seen that in 2022, tourism had a very strong rebound, having contributed over 6.2% to our GDP and employed over 5.35 million Filipinos across the Philippines. Remarkably, this marks a 93% recovery from our tourism employment numbers in 2019. The good news as well is that as of September 27, we have nearly received 4 million visitors from various nations across the globe into the country. This marks over 82% of our target that we have set for this year, and therefore we are optimistic of meeting the target of 4.8 million, if not exceeding it by the end of the year. This has inured to the benefit of our economy by contributing over 316 billion pesos thus far. If we properly invest in our strengths, and if we ensure the inclusiveness of the tourism industry, these numbers are only set to grow. Which is why I approached this LGBT Tourism Pride Summit with optimism and hope. Because not only does it convey the desire of the Marcos administration to be inclusive, but also it hopes to fulfill the desire to provide equal opportunities for economic growth to our brothers and sisters in the LGBTQIA+ community. As we move forward, I would like to leave you with this call to action. To come together, to actively engage in the mission of this summit, and in every day and every way, celebrate the LGBTQIA community's invaluable contributions, emphasize the importance of inclusivity, diversity, and equality in tourism, and manifest our unwavering commitment to promoting a more inclusive tourist destination that is the Philippines. I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude for your presence here today in this historic, very first Tourism Pride Summit. It fills me with hope for the future, and I am confident that together we shall herald to the world the many reasons to love the Philippines, to love diversity, to love inclusivity, and to love the LGBTQIA+ community. Daghang salamat sa inyong tanan.